teams. A lot of actually, good talented teams are actually playing on the team rank ladder now. Before it was pretty stale. So Kog'Maw Janna instant bans for Team Matt Damon, which is very, very smart. That is the AD support that they've been playing all tournament from Razor Weapon. Shen Rammus bans coming out from Team Razor Weapon. Be interesting to see what they go with here. Razor Weapon will have first pick, and they're going to ban Tryndamere, so try to keep that away from Pat, Mr. Model Minority. Alright, so here we are back in here. Razor Weapon's going to start out with Tristan and Tarek. Highwind's going to pick up Shyvana due to that counter jungling. Has taken a liking to Shyvana. Is a backup for Highwind now later into this game. So it looks like Skarner first pick. Although interesting, and Matt Damon actually banned Lee Sin, which is not good for them because they seem to love Lee Sin. Would have been free, but I think they didn't want Razor Weapon to pick up Lee Sin since they had the first pick. So they decided to take Skarner instead. Still a very good pick. They're going to go Soraka Sivir, very passive lane. Going to give Sivir a lot of mana to throw those boomerangs, spam her abilities. Ahri, great dashing AP mid. Ooh, Boss Cow picking up Mr. Mordekaiser possibly. Be an intriguing pick. Razor Weapon, the first seed from Pool A. Team Matt Damon, the second seed from Pool B. Taking second seed to high risk, no reward. The bracket has been posted on our Facebook page, facebook.com/RaiseYourWeaponMedia. And interesting, on Malphite picks a super tanky AoE team from Razor Weapon. This is pretty intriguing. And Ken's going to be picked, so double load, a lot of damage. Good solid team from Team Matt Damon. So pretty interesting actually in this team. Razor Weapon very, very tanky in this team lineup. And Highwind's actually going to be jungling, so Shyvana's going to be top. That makes more sense. I thought they were going to actually try to top Malphite, but that makes more sense. Highwind actually does like Malphite. I'm watching Dan on his stream when he was featured back a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, maybe now, in the League of Legends channel. He was playing a lot of Malphite jungle. Took a liking to that. So it's going to be a very, very tanky team from Razor Weapons. It'll be interesting to see as we go forward. Tristana, again, a hyper carry. And Mordekaiser, for the most part, if he can be farmed, he will be a hyper carry as well. I do have faith in the boss cow carry. Ken's going to be super safe top, and he will have a teleport. Looks like Matt has also picked similarly for summer spells. So we're going to have Ken versus Siobhan on top, and the mid will probably be Boss Cow versus Ari. And bottom will be Tristana Tark. It should be an interesting matchup again. Supports, typically it's been a lot of favor of going team heal on your AD carry because you'll get more advantage from that. It looks like Tristana actually will have the ignite and will not have the team heal. Swapped up strategies here. Matt Damon going for the conventional thought process. Soraka having the exhaust. So it should be interesting. I've seen some interesting lanes. And the Janna ban, quick offline Kog'Maw Janna, actually Janna, personally, the way I feel about supports in the current meta, I think Janna is actually worth a ban. It's just like I would pick her hands down as my support always if I could. And at that point, I think she is worth a ban because she counters a lot of team comps just naturally with her AOE ult, and she just has so much CC and controls. It dominates a lot of team fights. And she has, her early game was thought to be pretty weak, but a lot of people sustain through and get out of it. And then after that point, she's just a beast. She's so much CC that she helps facilitate a lot of ganks. Those team fights just really hard to deal with. So big fan of Janna. That's a worthwhile ban, and it's a good ban targeted at Razor Weapon. Take them out of their comfort zone. Don't let them play their A-list lineup. This is a best of 3. This is semifinals. This is best of 3. Razor Weapon is the blue team. Dexter, Sanctified, Highwind, Format, and Boss Cow versus Team Matt Damon, Joby Kunev, the All-Star Lee Sin we saw in earlier games, which you can check out on YouTube tomorrow. Willa Nigga, I'm Black, yeah. Soyaruda, and Bottle Minority. Once again, this is Game Breakers Land Center. We are down here. Great venue. We'll probably post a video. We've been showing it on our webcam, our HD webcam, throughout the day. Basically, really, really clean. Great venue. Lots of room. Great computers. Leather couches. Really, really cool environment. All the players are shown today. We had 8 teams. Double pool play registered. A lot of money actually going back to the players if you do win this. So, super exciting tournament. Just really excited for it. See this conclude. I'm really excited for this game going forward just because these two teams have been shown that they're very, very good. Model Minority, really having to fight to get into this game too. I mean, the team they played last round, Songyu Upsal, they looked very, very strong. Actually gave them a huge run for their money. Should be interested to see how this goes forward. Not mixing it up. Model Minority gonna be top. Hasn't lost a lane all day, so it should be interesting to see him go up against Format. I've seen a lot of invades today as well. A lot of invades down towards blue Tribrush actually. So might see something similar today. Is the common path to steal is to go into red and invade there. No CV for either team. Have seen RYW run CV at times today. See how these teams start out. Lots of buys. Typical support buys. Pink ward picked up. Forced Soraka actually like that start. It's very, very smart. Can do a lot of really good early counter warding. A lot of pings towards that tri-brush. Both teams running very, very quickly. Sivir actually running back to Skarner. They're going to come out now. Skarner running Regrowth Pendant in pots. See where they decide to go. So they're picking up towards their own tri-brush. Ahri seems to be shading up towards that way. Soraka heading down low towards bottom. Both teams being very, very patient here. Highwind actually waiting by wolves, wants to do a standard path. 4 people waiting down bottom just in case there is an invade. Oh, there it is. The Skarner waiting in the brush. Scar. Both teams being patient right here. Looks like purple is going to invade here onto blue. And this is going to be very potent because it is 5v3. So this is not going to be good for RaiseYourWeapon. They are going to catch this, though, before they get caught, maybe. Or they don't see it, so they're going to roll down here. Now Shyvana's going to have to back out of this, taking a lot of damage. Not enough CC to stop this. They will be pushed out of here. Meanwhile, Tristana and Taric just doing bottom golems. That is the disadvantage of not having your full team there. Shyvana probably not going to stick around here. And it looks like Highwind's running as fast as he can towards the enemy blue. Wants to steal that in response. Doesn't want to fall behind. Losing that blue would be absolutely huge. Wreck his lane. Matt actually running up here. Is going to meet Kennen just straight up here. Uses his burnout. Going to be able to run him down pretty easily. Does not have lightning surge. Going to take about half health and damage. And then they're resumed to farming. He should be safe after this, especially once he uses lightning surge and uses the shurikens at long range. Highwind going to steal his pops his smite early. Just wants to make sure he gets that blue. And Sivir and Soraka will rotate down in here into lane. But, you know, again, they do have the golem advantage. They will hit level 2 before Soraka and Sivir actually even get to lane at all. So, very strong. And quick stun, jump in, rocket jump. Tons of damage going on to Sivir, even though she has the heal on her. But, you know, Tristana is actually really, really good against Soraka. Has that healing reduction ability. Should be good. Shyvana actually can push back on this lane if she wants, using that burnout. So it should be good in this lane. Again, if she pushed really, really hard, it might be good. Because Kennen actually does have a hard time lasting early. Looks like he just wants to stay safe near his own turret. He's afraid of the Skarner gang. Skarner has a lot of slow ability. He's just going to freeze that lane, juking those minions over towards that wall. So they cannot actually escape. He just wants to keep it here as much as possible. Actually doing a good job pushing Ahri's wave into his turret early. And same going down here bottom. RaiseYourWeapon being very, very aggressive, pushing up these lanes very, very hard. Skarner, you know, really scary once he hits 6, but he's actually going to blue pill back here with his red and his blue buff. And actually, you know, Ward's actually in this bottom jungle, or in this bottom brush, effectively negating that brush. Taric actually is not actually gaining anything by being in there. And should know it now that the creeps have actually pulled onto him, which is smart. If you had a pink ward, you can play direct kill the ward, which is why you would start a pink ward early. It's personally my favorite way to start if I play support. I typically want to take a pink ward, so I gain that ward advantage. Actually gain control of this brush. If you put a pink ward down here, they cannot ward this brush, then you would have it all to yourself if you know you value that as a strategic position. Mordekaiser doing work in the middle, boss cow. Dexter is going to be pretty hard to deal with him. Very, very solid AD. So he's going to have a little trouble. Already at half CS of Tristana at this point. Kelly very strong. Has a level advantage. Burnout going down. Highwind coming up. Maybe trying to gank this. He's going to come up, roll up here. There's the slow. Flash pop. So Flash is down. So we're going to roll back to this lane. Going to pick up the experience. But maybe not get any of the kills. And try to go last hit. Gonna miss it. Unfortunately, now Mordekaiser's caught out. This is actually the disadvantage of being Mordekaiser. Gonna get charmed, and that is very, very unfortunate. Knight going down. Gonna try to flash out of this. Hopefully, flashes out over the Orb Deception. Get out of this. Flash in. Slow's going down, and First Blood will go to Kunev. Has that infinite slower. Highwood needs to get out of this. Doesn't want to lose that double buff. That would be very unfortunate. And you know that is Mordekaiser's one weakness. If anything, if he pushes that lane, he is very susceptible to ganks. Big wave pushed up. Matt's gonna go back now. Sanctified trying to do a good job of zoning this out, but again, you know, if you had a pink ward, you could zone out this this area right here. It might be a different story. But instead, he decided to go for more wards than to have the pink ward advantage, and now that ward is gone now, so he does have the advantage of this brush. They do not actually know he is there. Although he might not know exactly when it is down yet, but there's another ward. So brush will be denied yet again. Matt back to lane. Your Skarner's slow is so potent, stacking on you, especially with the red buff. Very hard to get away with in that situation, and pretty tanky with his move speed armor buff. With Skarner right now. Level 2 Crystal Slash. Crystalline Exoskeleton. Minority doing a good job top. Again, expected of him to play solid. 38 CS versus 44. Siobhan's going to go back and buy an item here. To pick up a ward. Needs that to be safe. Going to pick up some more Postus to survive the harass. Skarner coming actually rotating down now. Should be able to easily escape out of this. There's no flash onto Skarner. Has that rocket jump a little bit early. Stun should have came out. We should be good here. Yeah, not level 6 yet, so not super scary yet. And they easily back out of this. Skarner actually can be seen in that brush there. Might need a new ward up here, covering their backside with that Tri-Brush. Highwood, meanwhile, stealing Raise from Skarner. Good jungle evade strategy here. Actually, they can steal farm away from Skarner. Skarner waiting around blue. Blue should get pretty soon, and there it is. Blue is up now. Ari is rotating. They should know that blue is off and is being rotated on. Meanwhile, Highwood's going to take this blue here. Mordekaiser definitely does not need blue, and Shyvana has no business with blue either, so definitely blue lights. All High wants to take if he wants it. Right now, it's a very standard game working out. Team's completely even with that first blood, though. RaiseYourWeapon doing a little bit job of farming at this point, and that is kind of to be expected. I expect top to be pretty competitive farm-wise. Pretty even as opposed to Mama just straight up winning it. Mid should be pretty even between Boscow and Ari. 61 to Ari's 46. So actually Boscow with a healthy advantage here. But looking at bottom, I expect bottom to actually have an advantage. Tristana, Dexter, just, you know, really mechanically is a solid AD carry. So he should have a good time against this Sivir, which he is. Sivir at 39 CS. Boscow is 69, so 30 CS advantage at this point. Very, very strong. Alright, just constantly trying to have, really needs to land a charm to really put the hurt on the Mordekaiser. And there we have a big engagement here. Matt actually engaging on to Kennen. Kennen popping ult and everything he has to escape, get that stun off. 2 marks still onto Matt. Matt's going to clear this out. Seeing that he's going back, he's actually going to push this really, really hard, although teleport is still up for Kennen. Although if he does pop it, the advantage here is Matt is going to come off. I mean, Matt's has about 30 left. Oh, actually a kill middle. Boscow being engaged on Charmed, probably. Like I said, key to the ability is Charm. And Boscow following through. So kill-wise, you know, RaiseYourWeapon very much down at this point. Gold-wise, still hanging in there with their superior farm. Looks like format rotating top. Going back to lane. I'm thinking about coming bottom. Gonna pick up this kill onto Sivir. Sivir, no escape there. Terrible position down low. Soraka going to be left all on her lonesome. Not going to be very safe in lane at all. Can be easily aggressed upon. Purple actually pinged down there towards that area. Maybe we can point you. That's just where you died, Sivir. It was unfortunate. Matsia still hanging in there. Tristano's going to start to get out of hand. Double Doran's Blade and double Doran's Blade and level 2 boots, Berserker Greaves, and Sivir only has a BF sword. It kind of seems to be like the old school AD strategy to help you last hit, and so it's just not necessarily the best current meta. Early game is a lot more important. And Skarner's rotating down. They actually see this coming in, especially with Ahri too. So they are going to be able to beat feet. Stun's going to come in, prevent the suppress ult from Skarner. They'll easily be able to back out of this. Ahri rotating back up. He'll probably deal with this Mordekaiser push. But Ahri looking pretty solid at this point. Has a revolver, which was nerfed a little bit, but I mean, not really quite enough. A couple percent. She's still going to be good, especially with her passive. Interesting when a Baron's going to go down. RaiseYourWeapon typically favoring Wriggle's Lanterns, but they don't actually have a single Wriggle's Lantern on either one of their team members. Highwind, Malphite tends to go gold per 10 items, doesn't actually go the Wriggle's Lantern, so they won't have that advantage like they normally do in their past few games. Typically, they'll run Wriggle's Lantern on Kog'Maw, the Wriggle's Lantern on a invading like a Shyvana jungle, and also, Skarner maybe coming in for a gank here. Basically top jungle at bottom, while AD will typically have the Wriggles, and Mordekaiser actually backed off here. Skarner coming in. Mordekaiser very safe at his current turret location. Really, Charm has to be landed for Mordekaiser to be in any trouble at this point. And the Farm Fest up top. Both have been very aggressive against each other, but for the most part, just farming away. Mordekaiser just putting damage on Ahri, and then it's getting a big damage shield, chunking a lot of the damage just that way.
You know, what is funny about Mordekaiser is that he can actually be denied and then actually come back. If he's denied early game, he can actually come back mid to late game, and just as soon as he put that ghost on somebody like Ahri or Severe, all we need to do is kill that one person, and it'll be from a 5v5 to a 6v4. At that particular point. So
yeah, I mean that's huge, especially if you landed on one of the big AD carries or something like that. It can really swing a team fight. I mean, especially if they have like their AD carries like super farmed up and they're like a beast, and then you end up killing them and you get a ghost form of them. Yep. You just start chunking the crap out of your enemy team, and then they feel bad because like if you kill it, then like you're wasting time killing something that you know is going to die in a couple seconds, but at the same time you have to because it's just dealing tons of damage to you.
Exactly.
And so I mean, Mordekaiser, you can even be behind and still come back, and if you let him farm up and get super farmed, I mean, he can be just absolute terror. Yes. Looks like Sanctified's going to go up and place a ward here. Needs to be very careful. He's getting surrounded here. He's going to go up and kill this ward. This is a mistake. Sanctified. Sanctified. Going to be in trouble here. It's going to be 4v1. Can Sanctified win this? I don't think he can. Get Ahri on. Jump flashes out of this. Might escape. Heals himself. Soraka trying to chase this down. Exhaust actually going on to Mordekaiser. Orb Deception just missing. Will Sanctified survive? No.
Oh, wow.
Flash and tons of damage going on. Teleport coming out from Kennen. They are ready for this dragon. And Dragon will probably go to Matt Damon at this point. I've been in that situation many times with support. You place down that pink ward, you see that ward, you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. But always,
get baited.
Yeah, always if you ever place down that pink ward, make sure you know where everybody is in lane. If you see that they're missing, do not go for it because a lot of times you will be cornered off like that. That's just like the worst case scenario. And he almost escaped out of it. I mean, great flash escape reaction. Almost made it out, but in the end, didn't work out. Shyvana being super aggressive in the top jungle. It's going to have a lot of support shortly, so Matt's going to have to get the heck out of there. RaiseYourWeapon currently up 0.1k gold still after all these kills and deaths. Losing a dragon, their farm is just superior. It's actually keeping them in this game. I mean, heaven forbid they were able to stay even. get a few kills, they'd be really into this game. But I mean, Dexter's such a strong AD. I feel like later this game goes, and especially just how good Tristana is, it's really gonna affect this game.
Yes, definitely. Compared to Severe, late game, Tristana is really, really feared because as soon as she has her IE, Phantom Master, Bloodthirster, all of her items, she'll be just really scared. She'll just stare through all your AD.
Yeah. Plus that range. If you look at, if you look at the farm, I mean, the top, middle, and bottom AD all have this almost the same AD: 133, 134, 136. And meanwhile, the rest of Matt Damon's lagging far behind, and Sivert not even at 100 yet, only at 88 CS.
Yeah. Then if you look at the scoreboard, right above, the goal is actually even. Matt Damon's team is only just ahead by just 2 kills, but the goal is pretty much about the same. It's thanks to all the last hits on the creeps and stuff.
And a small little engagement there, but again, Ahri is so strong in the fact that you can just pop that ult and easily dash out of your range and be super safe that way. Skarner coming down the jungle, he's probably going to see Highwood's going to see him at least. Rotate down, and we might see a dive onto this bottom turret, which could be possible. This will be cleared out. He's going to rotate out of this. Ahri coming over towards blue. Might be rotating down. Oh, they might know Highwood's here. Highwood's going to have to be very careful. He gets caught by Skarner. Could be in a lot of trouble, and they're just going to back out. Doesn't want to lose that double buff, or I guess single buff now. That would be huge. A huge loss. Don't ever want to give a buff in a competitive game, especially since they reset. Actually, Matt doing a good job against this Ken in the top deny. I'm actually kind of a little bit impressed with his play. Still, 20 CS actually ahead of Bottom Lane. Bottom Lane hasn't, he's been a very strong top laner. He hasn't necessarily completely lost the lane. I mean, by no means that they're still doing pretty good, but the fact that Matt's been able to, keep in this and keep that advantage is pretty good, pretty impressive. Again, I'd like to see, the Swift one on a team here at one of these tournaments. So I always do enjoy his top play.
You want to see everyone on the team. Swift one, Antran, Windsor, myself, and Nonfiction.
I want to see team make it rain. Dexter just doing an amazing job actually zoning out here. Highwood Mule chasing Skarner. Skarner's going to heal, turn around. Silence actually going on to Highwood. Highwood's going to back out of this. Right now, just on 163 CS, about 3 kill advantage onto Sivert. Sivert has a kill, but even with that kill, I mean, you still have a 2 kill advantage, especially in gold onto Tristana, just in CS alone. Just what Dexter's been able to do here. I expect that to get really hard. I expect it to be almost a scenario like before, like we saw in the last game against Sunby Upsal, where Matt Damon, their bottom was completely outfarmed by Corky. Corky had like 400 CS. Super huge advantage, and he was really strong, but the problem with their team was they didn't have enough damage. I kind of feel like the only drawback to Razor Weapons team is that they have Mordekaiser, so Mordekaiser is super farmed. He's going to be really hard to deal with and very strong for their team, but at the same time, they're kind of missing some damage sources. Like, I feel like, Shyvana can actually be kind of like, she can get, her damage can get reduced. I mean, Matt's doing a great job farming too, so, I mean, she's still in the game, but I feel like late game, she kind of falls off. Tark's not going to really do any damage. And Malphite obviously is not going to do any damage either. So.
It's probably just because they have the appeal for Tristana to give Tristana time to do damage to Skarner, to Cannon, to Severe, whoever they need to kill. I mean, on Matt Damon's side, the only really person that's really tanky will be Skarner and then Cannon. They'll be hard to kill because of Soraka heal, Soraka ult, and the team heal. But on Team Razor Weapon, they have Mordekaiser, Malphite, Shyvana, really tanky, really take the damage, can actually chase certain specific character, specific heroes, just like Ahri down, just to get her killed and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like it's kind of like this interesting team comp where like Razor Weapons, like there's gonna be like some point around like mid-late game here where like Matt Damon's team's gonna actually have the advantage character-wise, but then like the later the game goes, like when we get to like late game, like it's all Razor Weapon because between Mordekaiser and Tristana, like I mean, that's gonna be brutal amounts of damage coming out of them. I don't know if they're gonna be able to rush down and get into the back line to touch Tristana, especially with her displacement and how much peel they actually do have on Razor Weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And then not only that, Team Razor Weapon can actually rush their AD, rush their AP carry down. So it just zones them out, and they won't have enough focus to kill Tristana, Tarek, or whoever they need to do. Actually, Tarek is actually really taking too late game as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think objectively the way I'm looking at the game right now is, if Razor Weapon actually stacks MR, really the only thing they have to worry about at that point is Sivir, and Sivir's kind of the underfarm member of the opposing team. So they stack MR, they get rid of most of the high burst damage that is left over for Team Mono Minority, and then they just have to take care of Sivir, and that's going to be a lot of it. And Razor Weapon's closing in on this. Teleport coming down in. Skarner actually going to pull a member out, Tristana, but Tronson's going to pull out of this. Look at all that burst damage by Razor Weapon. Matt Damon's looking very, very a lot of trouble at this point. And Kennen coming back in, popping his ult, trying to get out this Maelstrom. Rocket jump, chased after. Matt's going to pick up the kill.
Wow.
Ari's going to have to get out of this, but that was so much damage. Everybody just got absolutely melted at once.
You saw that burst, though?
Yeah, that was crazy. Everybody went from 90% to about 20% in like 0 seconds.
Yeah.
0.2 seconds, yeah.
Mordecai just in there, could not kill him. He has that go. Shyvana just comes in with her ult, with her burnout, running, chasing down, and using her 5 breath. Oh my god. That was just insane.
Matt Damon got bursted in the face. That's what happened.
He did.
But yeah, no, Ari was still able to come out of that still fine. Skyler's back in lane, but man, that was crazy how fast everybody's health dropped in that team fight so instantly. I mean, Skyler did a good job though. I mean, he picked out Tristana and pulled him to the enemy team. I mean, at that point, he was going to get surrounded and killed. And so the only thing he could do is like pick out the best target, which he did pick out the best target, drag it to his team, say, hey, maybe you can kill this. If not, run away, leave me or something, whatever. But I mean, for what he had left to do, I mean, it was still actually a smart play by him. Yeah. And now look at all this burst damage onto Sivir, taking a lot of turret damage. Don't like that as much, but still, you can just see the potency of damage that is here for this bottom lane. Brain just barely dodged on the comeback, on the hunt. Thinking about maybe going in there for the kill on Dexter. Dexter's going to get out of this. Luckily enough. Oh, almost it caught the tip of that boomerang. Mordekaiser pushing very, very hard now. But Mordekaiser, the more fed he gets, the scary he's going to get. He just got a bunch of assists in there after dying a bunch. He's getting more tanky as we speak. Has that Woda. And Dexter actually is going to pick up a kill bottom. Malphite coming in, converting onto Sivir. Super low. Thought they were safe maybe. But great gank there by Razor Weapon. So Razor Weapon had a kill disadvantage, but now they swung it back. They had an advantage just basically off of CS. Flash in CS. Now we're going to try to see a lot of burst damage. Ari coming in to pick up Tristana, now stunned under the turret. Ignite going on to Highwind. Super, super low, and Ari is really low now. She's going to flash out of this, get out of this, but great double kill. Heads up dive by Saruta. Very, very great play. And Boss Cow, meanwhile, knows that she is gone. It's going to push turret very, very hard, which is a very smart play for any AP mid. So Razor Weapon taking some damage there. What do you think about that?
It doesn't really change time. I mean, yeah, they need to do Matt Damon do need to get some kills. Do need to trade. The thing is, they're losing mid for Boss Cow just pushing. Ari getting those 2 kills. Probably the increase that she lost should probably even out. I mean, nothing really. It was just what I saw was just a bad ward in the river. So, yep, that was about it.
So yeah, good move, but still down a lot of gold. And Boss Cow is like he can't be left alone. And actually, Shyvana's going to commit to this, and they will commit to this. Ult going down onto Kennen. Just trying to pick up Soraka ult coming in to try to save it, but it's not going to be enough. So tanky. And now a little tanky Kennen goes there to push that turret. They could probably take this if they want.
Yeah, Kennen's item, what he should get is a Soldier's Hourglass, just for that split second, and a Rhyalize, just to make him a little bit more tankier, because he needs to survive in the team fight. He needs all that burst.
Yeah, so he is right there. He is going to pick up the Hourglass, which is going to be very, very key for him to survive in those team fights. I actually will let him pull through, especially if he gets focused by, let's say he gets focused by a Mordekaiser with his ult, he can actually Hourglass to get through some of that duration. Which could be pretty good, or wait till the end of the duration, try to escape out of it.
Which is actually true, and the other thing you can actually use, if you know you are being targeted by Mordekaiser, buy a quick Solar Sash, sort of like Ninja buy it, Exactly. As soon as he puts it on, just cleanse out of it, and then he'll be just really, really useless to the final result. So it is a really good item. It's also a risky item. If you're not being focused, and then there's really no point in getting it. But if you are, you should get it. But
yeah, I mean, because the problem with buying Quicksilver Sash at this point is you're basically only buying it for Mordekaiser, because there's no other real AP damage coming from Team Razor Weapon. It's mostly going to be AD or some kind. Razor Weapon now with a 6k lead. They're going to lose a turret, so jumping back down to 5k. But with a healthy lead here going into 26 minutes or so. Trying to sneak around the enemy jungle. Lots of wards going down. Wards everywhere. And Kennen losing these battles with Shyvana. Shyvana really tanky. But actually, this actually is not good for her. Actually, not good for both of them. They're going to run escape out of this 4v2 and then escape out of this Mordekaiser. Sitting around the backside. Tristana coming in the back. Not going to be good for Scar, and Scar's going to get grabbed in there. Kenning's going to go in. Ult going down. Great pick off for them against Tristana. That's who they have to pick out to take a lot of the damage out of Razor Weapon. Highland's going to be picked out here. It's Charm Mordekaiser with the rest of their team, but it's 1v5. That is not going to work out. And not having the full team there, that is not good for Razor Weapon. And Tristana definitely cannot be picked off. Got to stay away from that Skarner at all costs.
Yep. And then Mordekaiser putting that ult on Skarner was a bad idea too, because he did not have that burst. Or enough damage just to kill Skarner.
I mean, really, they were split off right there. It looks like a Baron is underway. Matt trying to poke around this.
Over the wall.
Doesn't have Smite, though, so he's not going to have a very good chance of stealing this if he goes in.
He has that Dragon Breath, though.
And Baron will go down.
You should not throw a game like that anyways.
Yes. So they're going to back off, and now Razor Weapon's going to have to turtle. So like that, I mean, these Barons are huge. So losing that team fight won, the gold swung back, but then you get the Baron on top of it. Now it's only 2k gold advantage for Razor Weapon. For what was, a solid lead, if they go back, convert by, and just pick a good team fight.
Yeah.
But instead they got caught out, something they didn't want to do, and Tristana got caught. That they can't have Tristana get caught at all. That's the key to a lot of the team fights.
And then after Tristana, if she wants to, she could also buy a Quicksilver Sash for Skarner too. She knows she's being targeted. She just cleanse out of it. Cleanse out of Kennen's stun and Ari's charm, and then just hop over her line of defense, and then just come back to the team fight with a target kill. And
Razor Weapon, in the meantime, they lost Baron, but they're going to pick up this dragon, get a little bit of gold back, a little bit of team gold. And they still have a team gold advantage. Sitting about 2.5k. They need to pick their team fights correctly. Shyvana looks like she might go for Randuin's Omen or something here. Ken looking very, very strong, and they do have that double wood online. It has been nerfed, but still very, very potent for APs in team fights. And really, I feel like Razor Weapon, if they had that Janna, it would be very, very strong. So going back to that ban, it was very, very smart of them. I mean, they kind of wanted to get rid of the bread and butter AD support combo, but still, in a lot of cases, it did help them out a lot in dealing with this team comp. It works for their team right now.
I wasn't there for the bans, but there was a Janna ban. That's actually a really good ban. Janna, really good, solid support, really, really strong late game, really good mid. Weak, a little bit weak early, but if you know what to do, she's actually really strong. So much.
Yes.
And for all percent team fights, that is what you want if you don't have the right or correct engagement.
Yeah, and it's kind of what they want. I mean, I go back to the game where Razor Weapon actually picked up, Gragas, Janna, and that was really, really key for them, because if they ever got engaged on a run, they had 2 ways to reset the team fight, which can be really, really huge.
Yep.
When you get to team comp like this, we're going to have, Kennen really just wants to go in. Same with Skarner, a lot of those characters, so having a reset like that becomes very, very huge, these matchups. A lot of rotate bombs. Sivir possibly out on her own, but they don't necessarily know where the team is. Matt pushing mid by himself and use that burnout to gain that speed boost and get out of this. Looks like maybe Matt Damon is looking to move in on mid, which is as hard as possible. Yeah, this is the semifinals of the Game Breakers tournament. Ooh, again, split. Need to run. Can't get caught here. No one can get caught. This would be really, really bad. And oh, they don't see Tarek. Thank goodness they don't see Tarek. Because that would be really bad for Razor Weapon at this point. But Matt Damon looking very, very strong. Has some really, really solid games coming out here against all teams. Had to really fight for this position to come up against Razor Weapon. And it looks like they are pretty battle tested right now. Playing good game. Crawling back into it. And again, it's going to be interesting to see. I think this is kind of the point where Razor Weapon is like slightly weaker. As the further we go, the stronger Razor Weapon's actually going to get. And they might actually pull back out of this.
Yep, and the correct engagement would be Malphite or Tarek stun onto someone like RA, Kennen.
Yes,
So that is what you want.
Ooh, good charm, and Skarner trying to go in there. Grabs Tristana, great job. Tristana's actually going to get blown up again. That is huge for the team fights. Now Razor Weapon in full retreat here. Mordekaiser trying to tank through this. He is very, very tanky, but he's not going to be able to pull through. And now Malphite is out. And again, Skarner, the key, great grabs by him. Great grabs. I mean, really just really just have to hang back. Don't be with your hang behind your team. Don't make that possibility. You have one of the longest auto attack ranges in the game. Definitely in this current game we're playing right now. And you should be able to stay out there and play safe. But instead, it's not working out for them. Now, Team Matt Damon's actually gained an advantage, the gold advantage, and pressing in on this turret.
And you know what? That exhaust actually really came in handy too, because in that team fight, all you saw was Boscow getting exhausted, so all of his AP, all of his damage was pretty much reduced down to nothing.
Yeah. And it's key. And again, it comes to, I feel like a lot of times when you build a team, I like to have more damage sources, and I feel like, Matt Damon's team comps, they have like 3 damage sources. They have the Sivir, they have 2 APs. There's 3 damage sources. When I look at, Razor Weapon's team, unless, Mordekaiser and Tristana become a hyper carry status, the rest of their damage, it's really not there unless you have like a huge advantage. Like it's not. It's an even fight like this. It's not going to actually be able to output a ton of damage to kill people in team fights, and so I kind of feel like that's actually what's happening to them right now.
Exactly. I mean, they have the right amount of people who live throughout all the team fights. It's just their main damage, which is Tristana, is not living for all that. She's getting picked off, and is it's just not good.
Yep.
This is not what you want. And I know how that feels too, as an AD carry, because you are the carry. So
yeah. I think if we've been here before, I go back to the Vancouver League of Legends online tournament that Razor Weapon just, recently won. All the team fights were coming down to keeping Kog'Maw alive. I feel like it's kind of coming down to that too. Kog'Maw again, I feel like he hits his hyper carry status a little bit earlier than Tristana. But Tristana still, she can be that status if you can keep her alive and keep her safe. And the advantage of Tristana, though, is that you have that displacement effect. You have Rocket Jump to get you to safety, but it's actually not being utilized here.
this is what they want right here. Live
Yep.
engagement.
So you can catch them unawares.
Baited.
Tristana showing herself over the wall. Stun on the Kennen. Kennen's going to hourglass, though, in the middle of this fight. There it is, getting all his health back from that ult, and that Skarner still going after Tristana. Tristana, great spacing here. They're actually going to pick up Skarner, should pick him up. Now he's staying back in this team fight, raining down tons of damage. Ari's probably going to go down here, but this is exactly what they want. Tristana staying deep out of this fight, just dealing damage back in here, but he's going to eat a shuriken in the face. That was really, really bad. Now he will be picked off, and now they're at the disadvantage.
Wow, are you serious?
Double Woda. Really, that's what a lot of where all their health came back.
Double Woda with a Soraka ult.
Yeah, that'll let you tank through a lot of stuff. And Sanctified's not going to skip them. Sorry, buddy. But here's Soraka one time. And ping for Baron, but that is not necessarily the best pick for them to go at this point. Just need to push mid, and looks like that's what they are going to do.
push mid, push top. You want to get that second tower, leave that hit open, go get Baron, regroup, go get Baron. Maybe contest at Baron if you need to.
So Matt Damon in the driver's seat of this game, up about 3K. So still, I mean, gold is very, very even. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, RaiseYourWeapon just needs to, they just need to get even further in the game if they can. I mean, really, it's like, it sounds funny. It's like you see them keep kind of losing these team fights. But I mean, Tristana is like just like that hyper carry stats. Wait, you see how long she survived? If she gets to that hyper carry stat and she's alive that long, like, you know, like the 6 hits she took to kill someone or to deal with Skarner would have been 3, and once you start cutting that down, then everybody starts falling faster. And Tristana living in that fight, if that fight goes down the same way, but it's Tristana's hypercarry stats, everybody dies, and Tristana lives.
So in this particular team, who would you actually focus on? Soraka, Severe, Ari. I mean, like we try to kill Kennen, which didn't really happen because of that Soraka ult.
You can't go for Kennen because, well, you can try to deal with Kennen. Like I would say if Kennen comes in, and Tristana should pop her ult to pop them back out, and now Tristana's running and she's caught out again, slashes out of this. But a lot of focus going back down there. Ari trying to focus, get that charm on her, hit the charm on Tristana. Tristana's dead in the water at this point. Uses her ult to try to escape, gonna rocket jump away. She is out of this fight. A lot of burst damage going down, but it's not enough to kill anybody. Tristana just really needs to get out here, keep herself alive, so you can try to defend another push. And it's just not looking good for a RaiseYourWeapon. But again, Kennen's a tough sell because, like I said, he pops his ult and he deals some damage to him. But once he pops his hourglass, then it's over. He's actually going to gain health back too while his ult's on because it's dealing damage while he's invulnerable. So he's gaining the health back that way. And then Ari, of course, has her dash around. But you can pick up Ari, that's pretty good. Sivir, obviously, I mean, those two carries you want to go for. Kennen, you just kind of want to like push out. And maybe if you could bait Kennen's ult out too in a team fight, but not just get completely caught. But RaiseYourWeapon keeps getting stuck in team fights. So here we go. Middle inhib is down for RaiseYourWeapon. This game going pretty deep now. And the funny thing to look at here is you look at the kills, 7 to 17, and you would think, wow, that's probably like a crazy gold advantage. No, it's only like 4K. And at this point in the game, the later you get, that's not a huge advantage, actually. The later the game goes, the gold advantage. You need a really big gold advantage to actually have the huge advantage. So 4K as you're heading into 40 minutes, not quite as big of a gold lead as, say, at like 15 minutes. If you're at 15 minutes and you have a 4K gold lead, like you're balling out versus your opponent. The characters are going to start all hitting the same level cap. Everybody's going to start hitting level 18. Except for Tarek. Tarek's still 13 at this point. Unfortunately, getting run down here. Papa Sorrel is ready to escape out of this, escape away from Kennen. Skarner's elixired up. Super tough. Here we go. Engage maybe, and Skarner's going straight for Tristana. Going to get Tristana. Tristana's actually going to get out of this, though. Pretty safe. Back out of this. Ari's going to go down really, really quickly. Boss Cow picking up a kill with his ult. Ari's back on their team. And now Tristana's actually rocket jumping in here, turning this around. Tristana's actually doing tons of damage. And now this is actually really huge for RaiseYourWeapon. Tristana's finally going to fall. But RaiseYourWeapon finally winning a team fight, finally turning around. This is what I was talking about. The longer this game goes, Tristana's actually, RaiseYourWeapon's actually going to swing slightly ahead with their team fight ability. So there you go right there. 40 seconds down to the rest of their team. I don't know if they're going to be able to capitalize anything here. Probably have to run back and defend their base to defend this inhib. Don't want to lose that at this point. Are you guys done with me? Oh, okay. We'll probably cast this one and then catch your second game for me. Possibly. So right now, Shyvana clearing out this wave, trying to keep these lanes pushed out so they can get another venue. If they can get another great engage like that, keep Tristana's damage in play, keep Mordekaiser in play, so they're going to be able to actually probably win this game. Here we go. Equal gold right now. Razor Weapon trying to ward up here. No oracles from either team, which is pretty interesting. Minions taking down bottom turret. Purple Minions so strong. Just waiting for another team fight here. Will Razor Weapon be able to win? If they can win another team fight, this will start to snowball in their advantage. Tarek actually over this wall, kind of split from his team. Both teams waiting, deciding when to engage. Want to make sure they can pick off someone. Don't want to just engage blindly. Again, you know, Skarner last time they got him in this fight, but the rest of the team wasn't able to catch up, and when they dove in, actually got caught out. And blowing up Ari as fast as they can, because she was the squishiest AP, you know, actually worked out really well for them. Probably be a good idea moving forward. There you go, Cannon coming in, pop his Hourglass possibly does not pop his ult, so Shriller's Reveille might be only going to hit Soraka in this team fight. Tristana actually backing out, trying to deal with Ari, but Ari just jumping all around her. Oh, Skarner ult coming in, negating the rest of the damage, and Malphite's just going to eat all sorts of damage in his face. Mordekaiser's so tanky and strong, but he's not able to survive through this. And Ari just cleaning up this last part. All 5 members alive for Matt Damon. Matt Damon, very good team fight for them. Teleport coming down.
Lane.
Yeah, it's going to be bot lane. Going to push this bottom turret as well. And they're just going to push right in here. I don't think the inhib's coming back up just yet. Going to try to go for some Nexus turrets, probably. Going to be 3 inhibs and down pretty soon, possibly. And that would be double super minion action, which is not good news if you're trying to defend the lanes. And they're just easily chunking down this turret. So Matt Damon actually looks like they're going to take this first game of this best of 3 against Razor Weapon. We're going to go to an interesting game, too. Congratulations to Matt Damon. Solid game. Played throughout. Down a little bit at times. And a pretty even game all the way through. Just, came down to another lost team fight. And, team fights really would end up deciding the game.
Exactly.